The honourable member for New Westminster Coquitlam.
In his landmark report, Justin Cohen was clear. Weakening fish habitat protection will put Fraser River sockeye in peril. We already had strong protections for fish habitat, Mr. Speaker, but instead of enforcing them, the Conservatives are getting out of the business of oversight to make it easier for their oil lobbyist friends to push through their pipeline projects. Instead of stalling, will the minister listen to Justice Cohen and reverse this government's reckless move to weaken habitat protection?
The Honourable Minister of National Revenue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The honourable member has to remember that this side of the House that called the Commission because we are concerned about the fate of BC salmon. And I can assure the member, Mr. Speaker, that we are focusing on protecting the productivity of Canadian fisheries. There are more than 650 fishery officers in over 100 locations across Canada who will be available to conduct investigations related to the fisheries protection provisions of the Fisheries Act. Mr. Speaker, in British Columbia alone and the Yukon, there will be over 170 officers in over 30 locations who will conduct investigations and other as required.
The honourable member for New Westminster Coquitlam.
Even the Council of Academies agrees that Canada is sliding backwards on the fisheries science compared to the rest of the world. Despite evidence that staff are already stretched to the breaking point, the Conservatives are slashing...
Order. The honourable member for New Westminster Coquitlam has the floor.
Despite evidence that the staff are already stretched to the breaking point, the Conservatives are slashing habitat protection staff on the West Coast, getting rid of capacity just as Cohen points to the DFO staffing levels as a problem. Mr. Speaker, I have a simple question. How does the minister expect these offices to properly investigate fish habitat violations with a third fewer staff?
Honourable Minister of National Revenue.
Mr. Speaker, amendments to the Fisheries Act have been made to provide consistency and fairness and to provide some common sense for proponents and stakeholders and to put our resources where they're needed the most and will make the most sense, Mr. Speaker. As I just said, there are over 650 fishery officers in over 100 locations across Canada that will be available to conduct all kinds of investigations and to protect Canadian fish. In British Columbia alone, there will be over 170 officers in over 30 locations because we do take the management of Canadian fish very seriously.